Hello, my YouTube friends. Thanks for joining in, you guys, tonight. Man, I appreciate it, each and every one of you. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, right down snare, just wrap it up on that baby, man, and come on in. We got a lot of great things I want to talk about tonight, man, and one is Alesis. Oh, man, they make some beautiful stuff. I did 2 other videos the other night on my MULTIVERB and quadra verb by Alesis. This is my MULTIVERB right here. And I wanted to talk about these tonight just simply because this old vintage gear completely rocks, man. I really forgot how beautiful this stuff sounds. And with stuff today, man, and the interface and everything they have, and using these old cool reverbs, just to die for, right? So I'm going to put a link up there above. So when the video's over, you're going to be able to check out those other 2 videos that I did on my other Alesis piece as well, the quadra verb. And I am going to do this, man. I am going to actually one night do an A/B between the 2, going through some of the effects. So you guys don't want to miss out on Snat. And but yeah, man, a lot of really cool things going on, man. And I tell you what, man, I've had this thing for so many years and used it on so many old just tracks and whatnot. And it's just amazing to think of. It truly is a star in itself to think of all the records and whatnot and demos this has actually been on as well. Oh man, I love it. This piece is actually from the early 90s, and I want to say around 93, and it just amazes me going through the presets and whatever, and getting into all that good stuff like that, man. And everything just works as intended. That's just what's so beautiful about it. Nearly 30 years or 30 years later, here we are, and it just still fires up and sounds great. So, man, that's a good thing, man. I don't know of any other or too much electronic gear that typically lasts that long and don't go wimp out on you, man. But I tell you what, I've been really enjoying this piece, and I wanted to get on here and talk about vintage Alesis gear. And if you guys have any vintage Alesis gear still in your rack, man, that you still use, man, comment on here, man, and let me know how you like it and whatnot and how you're using it, man. It makes all the difference when you get into parameters of things and actually dial in specifically how many milliseconds you want something, delay or whatever. And that's the beauty of this piece that Alesis was thinking back at the time, just doing this great stuff with delays and all kind of cool stuff. You'll just have to check one of these babies out if you don't have one. They should still be selling some of these babies on eBay. And if so, snatch one up, man, and put it in your rack. Oh, man, there's nothing like great old gear that still works as intended, man. You really get the sounds of yesteryear, man. And so that's a cool thing. But I also wanted to show you something else really, really cool that I stumbled upon. Hang on, guys. Let me set this beautiful masterpiece down. Oh, my God, Alesis, thank you so much for starting your world in the engineering world and people who love to record and whatnot. You really contributed so much to the recording world. Thank you, Alesis. So check this baby out. Sit it down nicely. So check this out, man. This is really, really, really cool too. This baby's fired up. Since I haven't done a video on this one yet, I just wanted to fire it up, man, and let you check out this piece of gold here. I love this baby, man. It's actually quite heavy, so I'm going to lift it with one hand here. Bear with me. All right, check this baby out. Oh, my gosh. The Art MULTIVERB LT. Check this baby out. Early 90s. Wow. Here's the thing, man. This one right here was actually made for, You know, it was kind of more advertised as a middle of the road or entry level piece of reverb gear and delay and whatnot. But I got to tell you, man, their entry level stuff back at the time was insanely killer, man. Uh, Not only did I run across this, but I ran across another cool little surprise, man. I want to share with you guys tonight. So hang in there, don't go nowhere. But so I plugged this baby up on my microphone and started just going through some of the presets on this thing. Some of the things and some of the names on these presets is just crazy to think that just some killer names, man. I'm gonna share some of those here with you in a second. But man, I started going through this thing and the sounds are just amazing. And what I really, really like about it is you may have the effect, but you also are able to control how much of the effect in the mix that you want with your dry signal or your wet signal. And that's just a beautiful thing. It's just another little knob you can dial in specifically how much of that particular room or slapback or delay that you actually want. And that is so killer, man. This piece just floors me at all the presets they actually put in this baby. I mean, this thing is really heavy, y'all. Holding this baby out in front of me like I'm doing so you guys can see it plugged in and all. But talk about plop out of a time capsule, man. And look at those lights, man. LEDs, they're just burning bright. So it's on setting 83, I believe, right there. And it's got all these cool settings. So check this out, man. Check this out. I want to show you what I ran across, man. So it looks like this is a copy, okay? But that's okay. A copy is better than nothing. This is a copy of the original manual back in 1990. Check it out. And so when I ran across this thing, I was like, you got to be kidding me, man. You got to be kidding me. I actually get to go in and read some of this cool stuff, right? So anyway, I opened it up, started thumbing through it. Some of it wasn't too interesting, but some of it kind of was, man. And that's the cool thing. And I want to show you what I ran across here. Oh, I'd say, let's see, there's 8 pages right there. Okay. And then it gets into this right here. It gets into a preset, numbered so that you can just dial in directly to the preset and check it out. I love this kind of stuff, man. So I got to looking at this, man. And I want to share with you. I got to pull up my glasses, okay? Heck, I might even have to put on my cheaters. But the first one is like short plate reverse, which is kind of cool. Custom reverb, dark room reverb, bright plate. You know, I'm kind of like, oh, wow, these are kind of some cool names. Infinite space, 250 milliseconds. That's kind of cool. They tell you how many milliseconds things are going on. Flat gate. I mean, isn't that cool? What a cool name. Echoes Tonight. I mean, Wonder Course. All these really cool names, man. Bright Deep Hall. Front Row Infinity. I mean, just insane, these names. Short Fast Course, but they've got all these presets in here, man. Check this out. Here's their few of presets. That's just insane. Look at some of those names, man. And so I got into this, man. I started looking at these names and I was like, are you kidding me? And there's more. There's a whole other page here. It just continues on. There's another page. Okay, so one more page. Check it out, though. A lot of gates and courses and whatnot all put together in their own little format. Check it out, man. just some really, really cool names for the presets on this art multiverb piece, man. It's just insane to think about, you know, how much went into this and such a very low price that they sold this at. And just some great sounds. I mean, I was listening to some of my older stuff through the DAW with, you know, some plugins and whatnot on the reverbs, and I'm telling you, man, these reverbs on this outboard piece of gear just blow that stuff away. And don't get rid of it, man. In fact, grab a hold of it. And the way I look at things, man, is if it works and it sounds as intended, you've got you another piece to add to your arsenal in your studio, man. You need it because you never know what record you might want to try to produce or sound like, and having all those old reverbs at your whim is a beautiful thing, man. And I tell you what, man, I was really floored into in the quality. I gotta grab it again, man. And the quality of this unit is it's insane how heavy it is. I need to look at this in the manual and find out how heavy it is. I was just so excited I wanted to get on here and do a video on it. But I tell you what, it does warm up pretty good. My hand's pretty warm underneath here, and it does have a transformer in it and a nice power cable going to the wall, right? So the cable's nice and thick. It feels like the transformer's nice and warmed up. And I tell you what's kind of strange about this piece. You've got everything beefed up like that, but I don't know. I still hadn't found a power button on this thing. And so I'm assuming it don't have a power button, man. And you know what? They just want you to turn it on by plugging it in and then turn it off by unplugging it, I assume. I can't think of any other way to do that. But anyway, man, it doesn't matter. I guess they had a reason as to why they did not want to put a power button on this baby. But I tell you what, man, I am really stoked about this art piece, and have went through some of the presets and some of the ones that you guys had just seen. And I really was floored, man. It was really nice. I don't think I'm ever going to get rid of this piece because I'm always going to be able to use it for something, right? It's another tool in our arsenal, man. And so thank you guys for joining in tonight. As always, the Audio Master Show. We have so much going on. If you guys are just joining it and do not know what this channel is about, I love to talk about vintage gear, microphones, recording tips, other cool, really cool stuff that we have going on. And I just appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining in tonight. As always, I typically try to come on between 7 and 8 Texas time. And sometimes I have to come on a little later just to get wrapped up in things and can't get away as fast as I want to. But I want to say thank you guys for hanging out and joining in anyway and hanging out with me, man. I did want to mention sometimes on the weekends, if you don't know, I do a midnight special show with Audio Master. And it's really, really cool that we can get on here after hours and chill out and talk about audio recording, man. I tell you what, man, there's nothing more exciting than getting in your studio and getting some friends in your studio and start improvising on something. You know, it may be the bass player that comes over and starts rapping out a cool little bass lick for you, or it may be the guitar player that come up with a nice little cool riff, and everybody else can sit in and join along and add their 2 cents. Oh man, you know, that is the beauty of being in the studio with a band. Just some really cool things happen. Sometimes it's the most either ridiculous things that come up, or just it's just the skies are the limit what comes out of musicians when they get in the studio with other great musicians and they just start warming up, so to speak, and how that warm up turns into this, 10-minute just jam of everyone just rock and rolling, man. And those are the great times. that when you have these people in your studio, the record button needs to be definitely going. Okay. Just remember that. Always have your record button going, because you never know what's going to come out spontaneous of the musicians and blow everyone away, right? So that's what we love about music, and that's what we love about recording and all the whole 9 yards. So thank you guys, man. As always, those of you who know about the Facebook group, and if you haven't joined Audio Master, it's a great place to be for us musicians and engineers to connect and collaborate with some different things going on in our lives and whatnot. So it's a really cool place for all of us to hang out and throw your music and whatnot. So yeah, man, a lot of cool things, a lot of good vintage gear from Alesis. They came out with compressors and other digital effects, reverbs and enhancers and whatnot. They had all kind of cool stuff, including keyboards, man. Alesis is just really done some great stuff, and now it's drum machines and all these pads and whatnot. And so Alesis has just been in the game a long time, and I appreciate you guys for staying in there and continuously putting out some great stuff for all of us to share and put in our studio in timeless recordings. Thank you so much for being a part of the recording world. And with that in mind, we're going to let you guys roll. But also, I did want to say one more other thing before I let you go. We have some great things coming up. We have some interviews coming up that I've been promising about. And so you guys don't want to miss on that. And it's just going to be a great surprise for all of us. And I want you to join in and hang out with us, man. Cool things going on, man. So anyway, thank you, Alesis. Thank you, Art. Thank all of you guys who helped just do some magical stuff for us guys, man, without those delays and reverbs and things going on the vocals and on other tracks. It might not be quite as interesting as it is with all that cool stuff in the mix, man. Things just kind of moving around and floating around in the mix. Such a beautiful thing, man, when you hear that music actually moving within the stereo field. It's a neat thing, a neat experience. So thank you guys for joining in. You don't want to miss out on tomorrow night. I am going to be on here approximately around 7 o'clock Texas time. So come join me again. If you haven't hit that subscribe, man, slam that baby. And also rip that bell out of the park, man, and get you a grand slam. And that's just going to notify you as to when I'm coming on, man. Come hang out with me, man. As always, at the Audio Master Studio. We appreciate it, and we will see you later.